All right, welcome to Stock Talk with Scott. Today we're going to talk about portfolios, setting up portfolios in Yahoo Finance. So let's just go ahead and jump right into that. Pull up your Yahoo Finance. You can go to yahoo.com and then click at the top of the screen and have a Yahoo Finance. Once you click the Yahoo Finance, you'll end up at a screen. Looks like this. You want to go to My Portfolios. You pull up this My Portfolios by clicking on that. And once that screen comes up, you'll see a list of my portfolios that I currently have. I've got 5 watch lists, I like to call them, that I watch these stocks on. You can set up all kinds of stuff, information on them, but I just got 5 lists, 37 items in this list, 46 in this. These are my ETFs that I watch. 9 stocks in this one, 20 stocks in that one, 18 stocks in that one. Just a list that I've developed over the years of all these stocks I've been watching for years. But I wanted to show you how to create one for yourself. What I thought we'd do is we'd create one. I bought several stocks end of last week, so we'll create a watch list to watch those come Monday. So what you do is you go here to create portfolio. You click that. Once that comes up, all you have to do is type in a name that you want to name it. We'll just call that, let's just call it Stock Talk. All right, so we'll add that in there, submit that. So you see it comes up and it takes you to a page where you can add the symbols. So we want to add some symbols that we, some of the stocks that we traded last week. Let's go ahead and get them added in there. First one being ACB. That is the Aurora Cannabis Inc. And we'll add that one in there. So it comes up here, shows you the last price, what it did the last day. Okay, so we want to add some more. So let's go ahead and do add another symbol. You see it right here under the summary. We click that. And we're going to add another symbol. This time we're going to add CLF. CLF. That's Cleveland Cliffs. That's the steel iron ore company that we purchased. And we'll go ahead and add that. All right, you see it pops up as well. Notice they're popping up in the order that you're putting them in, top to bottom. Let's do a couple more here. Let's do the EXAS. EXAS, Exact Science Corporation, Cologuard Company. So we'll add that one. And next we're going to add a symbol by the name of MPC. MPC, that's that Marathon Petroleum. You see here, Marathon Petroleum Corporation. That's a refinery. So we're going to put them in there. All right, so that's the 4 that we bought last week. And we're going to be watching those real close Monday, all of those, except for MPC and my portfolios. We just bought them. Got 3 of the 4s in the green. MPC is the one that's not in the green. It's down about 4% or so, almost 5%. So we may be cost averaging down on that one some more. The other ones, we've got the ACB, been up and down on that one, still up 2.5% on that one. Probably been holding it a couple weeks. We've got Cliff up percent, just bought that Friday. And we've got EXAS also up 1% or so, just about 1%. So going to watch those close. If we can get a good day on any of those, it could be time to trade. MPC would take a heck of a day. I don't think that's going to happen, but we may have a good day, good enough to get us back into the green. If not, we'll be watching that one close for a dip even further and may cost average down some more. On this screen here, you see it does have all the listings, the change in the amount, and then change in percentage-wise. What I do a lot of times when I'm looking at these lists, especially when they're 20 and 30 stocks long, I'm looking for a percentage drop, something out of the norm, like a 3, 4, 5% drop in a day. even more. And if I see something like that, I start pulling that up, reading some news on it, checking to see what might be causing it to drop. If there's no news, a lot of times it's just market driving something like that, and it's a good time to jump in on something if the charts look right. So that's kind of what I do on that. Also noticed on this the way this lays out here, you see you got your volumes. This is going to be your volume for that day, and then you got your average volumes, what it's running on average. You see here, most of them pretty close to their average volumes. Actually, that ACV was a little bit low. Then you got a day range. This is another thing that I like to look at as well before I make my trades. Most time I trade is I wait till the market settles. I don't get in there first thing in the morning. It's usually around noon before I start trying to think about making trades. So what I do is I go and look at this range during the day. You'll see here, like this range on MPC was $53.96 all the way up to $55.28. And so you're looking to see if you're going to make a purchase during the day. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll look at this low for the day thus far, and a lot of times I'll set a price somewhere near there. And because if it's gotten that low by that time already that day, then there's chances are that it's going to get there again before the day's over with. If it doesn't, you just don't make the purchase. It's not a big deal. You want to make sure, though, when you go to purchase, maybe you're looking for something that's not at the low, because if it's sitting here at the very far left side on this range, then you're establishing a new low at that time, and you just want to wait and see how low it's going to go. You want to see a little uptick somewhere in the middle maybe before you really go and set your price. Now, it just depends how bad you want the stock on what price you're going to put in there. If you don't think it's going to get back that low again for the day, then you may want to set your price a little bit off of whatever it is at that point in time. Like I said, sometimes I like to put my price at least somewhere below what it's trading so I can get a little bit of discount right off the bat. So that's what those little lines are. You can see these are kind of in the middle. This one's a little bit on the right side, up towards the 750 range more so than the low of the day. And then you see this one here closed very close to the low of the day. The low was 197 and it closed at 199, it looks like. This here is this is the 52-week range. Kind of gives you the same outfit. You can see these are 52-week lows, pretty close to the 52-week lows. These are not, they're off that low as far as the low for the 52-week. So that's something you look at as well. This is just a little tiny picture of the daily chart. What you'll see on this one, like these on that day, they were all opened in the red and stayed in the red, except for this one. You see there's just a tiny bit of green right there at the very open. So that one opened up just a hair, and then it was down the rest of the day. So it's a good way to get a quick look at how this stock's doing for the day. And this is the market cap of the companies. As you can see, my MPC there is a much larger company than a lot of these. And this says trade, buy, sell. You can actually link these things to your accounts. I don't do all that. So you got a link broker here. I don't fool with all that. I just keep this separate from my brokerage account. I do this, like I said, I do it all on my phone. You can go download the Yahoo Finance app on your phone as well, and you can add a list to that as well. It's a little bit different layout, but it's the same type information that you're going to be able to see. So we're going to be looking at these four Monday morning when the market opens. If they move in the right direction, we may be getting rid of some of them. If MPC continues to fall, we'll probably cost average down on that and a little bit more. May wait till later in the week. Just depends what the market does. It all kind of ties in together. You just want to get good prices on your stocks, but you also want to keep an eye on that market. If it's in the downward trend, you want to see, just like a stock, you want to see that thing level out before you start buying too much. You want to make sure that we've gotten to the bottom, and this thing's not going to keep falling. So we've had, if you look at the Dow here, Dow 30, we can pull those up. and just take a look at this chart real quick. As you can see, let's do a 5-day chart and look at the Dow. You see we had a down week. It went down pretty much. Let's take a look at the month chart. If you see the month, we're still up for the month. It's from right here to here. So we're up, not near the highs anymore, but we're up. You do see a pretty good bit of volume right there. We're just going to keep an eye on this market 6-month chart. You see the same type thing. It's gradually going up here, but we're going to keep an eye on everything this week. Make sure the market's not on the downward trend. After last week, we did have 3 or 4 trades down. Remember, if you have a continued downward trend on the market and you want to start getting into the market, this is one I'd like to keep an eye on as well. This Vanguard Total Stock ETF. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart on that. You see that does have a little downward trend, kind of like that Dow chart we looked at. And then if you go to the month, you're probably going to see something similar to what we just saw on the Dow. So what I do is when I want to get into the market at the ETF level, sometimes I'll use this tool here, this VTI, an ETF, okay? All right, there's the chart. That's the 1-day chart. I'm trying to get this 1-month chart. There you go. So the 1-month chart looks kind of like the Dow. It's down and it's making its way up there. So I wouldn't get in till it gets down to something around this area here at least, because that's a big rise up, and you're gonna be careful trying to buy stuff when it's high. It's just like a stock: buy it low, sell it high. So that's what we want to do. But these are good little investments. Again, take a look at this one. It does yield a dividend, and it's a 1.77% dividend on that one that's paid out yearly. And so that's nothing wrong with getting a little dividend while your money's invested. All right. So we'll go back to the portfolio. Now, when you go up here now, let's see. You see, as we pull it up, it's coming up now. And we see our portfolio that we built called Stock Talk. And we've got 4 stocks in there. And if you click this little link here, you can actually see the tickers. And there they are. All right. Well, I hope that helps you get started in building a list that you can watch and monitor throughout the week. And if you are interested in certain companies, all you have to do is search for the company. You can put the names of the companies up here, and whatever you want to put. Like we could say, let's do Alabama Power. There's Alabama Power right there. But Alabama Power, also known as Southern Company. Southern Company. We'll pull that up. There's the Southern Company ticker, SO. And that's a pretty good little stock. It's had a pretty good run here lately, I think. And we do see, usually your Alabama Power, you see they got a dividend, a pretty good dividend. It's one of those that usually has a pretty good dividend as well. But we want to keep an eye on those on our watch list we built, on our portfolio, I mean. It's those 4 tickers. Come Monday morning, we'll watch them real close, and we may be able to go ahead and make a little money. We're up a little on 3 of the 4 so far, so it wouldn't take much to go ahead and cash out because we haven't had those things long. So let's get you a list built. Whatever you want to put on there, you can put the same things I put, or you can put some stocks that you want to watch yourself. And we'll be checking back in Monday sometime during the day, probably, hopefully, maybe before the market even closes. And we can just touch base again. I hope you enjoy these videos. I hope they're helping you get started in the market. Again, it's easy to do. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to do it. That's for sure, because I've been doing it for 21 years. So again, I hope you enjoy these videos. Please like the videos. Please subscribe. We're getting some good feedback as well. Again, questions, if you got them, put them in the comment section. I'll be glad to look at that as well. And I really do appreciate you taking an interest here, and I wish you some some good trading next week, and let's just hope we have some that we can go ahead and cash in on. That's always fun. You have a great week, and I'll see you sometime tomorrow after the market or right before the market closes. Have a great day.